Hey Ghosties, welcome back. It's episode 2 of Ghosties on Second.
Roll music.
Ghosties on Second.
What's on your shirt?
Oh, this?
Yeah.
Hey, look at us. We're all official and whatnot. We got Ghosties on Second t-shirts.
And we match.
My dad made them for us.
Yeah.
Oh, we should show them the back. What? Thanks so much, Dad. You're the bomb.com. So we're back this week with episodes 426 and 427. 426 is Old as Dirt. 427 is the Hattie episode.
Loved it.
Such a fun week. So let's just jump right in.
Yeah.
So Brad off the top. We don't have Timon this week because he's busy helping out with the Trey Kennedy Christmas movie, which is awesome. Brad immediately imitates Timon. It's so funny when Jake says hi to Timon and Brad just says, what does he say?
I don't remember. I don't remember what he said.
Gosh. Well, it was really great. Anyway, Jake also starts talking about how he had a chaos day and how just everything's falling apart. Everything from the mortgage company calling him to the tariffs and stuff with Friday Pickleball. And, oh man, got to feel for the guy. It's kind of wild that he talks about the tariffs. He makes an interesting point that people kind of probably listen to Ghost Runners to kind of escape some of that news cycle talk, which I was like, I never really think about that, but yeah, that's definitely, it's a stress-free podcast. So during that conversation, they bring up, would you rather have a nice house or a private jet?
Nice house.
Nice house?
The heck?
That was your, so you, I mean, like a grand house. Like you can have a nice house and a private jet, or you could have an extravagant house and no jet. So it's still a nice house. I shouldn't have worded it that way.
I don't know.
I liked what they said about having like a decent house kind of close to the private airport for the private jet. And then you could just take that jet. You'd just be going anywhere.
Yeah.
You could visit all your friends who live far away. You could go visit all these countries that you've always wanted to visit.
I guess it would be nice and convenient. And then I guess along with having the jet, like you have all of the funds to
exactly
just make it go wherever you want. Like that's important.
That's definitely one of the parts that wasn't really discussed is, do we have unlimited money?
Yeah, what are the rules? Like, you
unlimited
know, like
gas?
3 wishes. Don't you dare wish for more wishes. Is it like a rule? Like, you know, I need to know what the rules are.
Have you heard that Mr. Beast is doing a video soon that he pays, or he gives 2 pilots a private jet and they have to live on it? Oh man, is it for 100 days or is it for a year? I can't remember. They have to live on it for a certain amount of time, and if they can do it, they cannot get off the private jet at any point. They have to go to the bathroom, they have to eat the food. They can fly it anywhere they want in the world, but they just can't exit the plane.
Well, then what's the point of flying it anyway?
Well, the whole point is if they do it, he will give them the jet.
Oh, dang.
So at the end of it, that's a huge prize. Yeah. But that, I don't know when that's coming out, but they're currently in the middle of it right now. That's kind of wild.
I'm thinking about the private jet thing. Like if there was, if it would remove all the stress of traveling, you know, like, be nice. Because like travel is always kind of stressful to me. So that's why I was like, private jet. Like I like to go places, but if it removed all of the stress of traveling, that it's like, we just get on our private jet and we just go and it's so easy. Like in movies, like, is there ever a private jet where like somebody's not having to like skydive off of it because it's crashing, because it's being taken over, it's been hijacked or whatever? Like, oh man, I don't know.
I just saw a little clip of Tom Cruise being interviewed on a red carpet from years ago, one of those Mission Impossible movies where he has to do like a halo jump out of the back of a plane at like 25,000 feet, something crazy, like way above, like in the lower atmosphere or something. And he was talking about how they had to hire the right camera guy who could skydive and film at the same time. And because of the camera, because of like the type of camera they had to use, they had to be 3 feet apart. He said he couldn't be even 2 inches further or closer. He had to be exactly 3 feet apart from the camera.
Oh my god!
So it took like all this preparation. Tom Cruise is crazy.
So, like, both of those guys there, like, different breed.
Totally.
Jumping back to a few episodes ago.
Totally. And so the private jet thing, though, we're about to travel this upcoming weekend. We're heading to Nashville for Shelby's cousin's wedding. Super excited about that. But we're flying, and it's like an hour flight, and then change planes, and then another hour flight. So it's yeah. It was just a little cheaper with the miles or whatever. We got the baby on the baby monitor, so Shelby's just
monitoring.
Yeah, it's very late. We're recording this at 1 a.m. Thursday morning, the 17th. Oh, awesome. Okay, so either way, I agree with what they were saying. Have a decent house with the private jet, as long as you get the unlimited fuel option for the private jet. Married people loophole. You could choose the house. I could choose the jet.
Yeah.
And then we actually have two houses. We have a nice house near the airport and an extravagant house at some exotic location that we could fly to and fro from.
Oh yeah.
To and fro.
This is nice. This is a good setup here.
Skadoosh. So then we have Brad talking about taking Hattie to Classical Conversations Community Day, and this was beyond relatable. So Shelby, take it away. What were the things that he talked about that just kept hitting the right chord with you?
Well, it's funny because it's a different perspective, because I am the one that goes every week, and it's nice. I think it's like as the wife, as the mom, and like you're in it. Like, I love being able to share it with you, or like when you get a glimpse or you get to be a part of something, like that's really cool. So it was funny hearing the dad's perspective of like showing up, and because you've only been to the community
a handful of times.
Yeah,
I've only experienced the full day like one time, or the full morning.
Yeah,
and a couple other times I've just gone for like the what is it, chapel, or
like the assembly at the beginning. Yeah. So that, and it's really great. The kids love having you there and stuff, and I love having you there when you've been able to be there. But it is. It's like a crazy day. I mean, I think it can seem overwhelming to some, mostly with like the tin whistle. When the tin whistle is happening, like all the kids doing tin whistle, it's intense.
Is that like a class, or does that happen during the assembly?
No, that's a part of the class that they do. There's like 6 weeks where they're practicing tin whistles. So for 6 weeks we get, but it's really fun. I just love it. I don't know.
How about when he was talking about like the wild boys and kids that aren't your own?
I relate to that for sure, because I'm like, when another kid is doing something that they're not supposed to, I'm totally like hey, are you supposed to do that? Like, save somebody else with, and then when it's one of our own kids, I'm like, ah!
Brad then talks about, sorry, was there anything more about CC?
He just talked about feeling like he didn't know what to do really, and he's like, I'm just a warm body.
So Brad talked about how sweet it was to see Hattie in her element and just really just being herself around other kids and whatnot. And that's something that I experienced recently when I went to whatever day it was, where I was just kind of visiting, and just I sat in with Justice during his class for a while, then I went and sat in with Jubilee during her class, and just seeing them interacting with the other kids, it was such a special thing to witness, and to kind of just like occasionally chime in with different things. It was just really fun, and I really got a good feel for like how the community at Classical Conversations is, and how much love there is, and how much joy there is, and really, it's just really exciting and interesting too.
Yeah, super cool.
All right, so Brad, he talks about this terrible headache that he had, and that he was like up all night groaning, and I remember you chimed in that you just found out something that could potentially be helpful.
Yes, I haven't actually tried it yet, but I don't want to say I can't wait to try it, because that means that I have a headache. But next time I have a headache, I'm going to try this, that you put your feet in super hot water, and it's supposed to like cause the blood flow, because it's the blood flow that's like intense in your head that's making your head hurt, like inflammation. It's supposed to like cause the blood flow to like go down, like into your feet. So
good flow.
Anyway, and I there were like a lot of good lots of good feedback on that. So I don't know. I'm gonna try it.
Cool beans.
Putting your feet in super wide.
Well, then he also apologizes for 3 hours sleep, Brad, from last week, which is really funny. And it was just hilarious, bro. It was hilarious. Don't even worry about it. We freaking loved it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. When they talk about the ghosty getaway and they say that the last room was potentially taken. I did check online after that, and I see that there is a boys in one of the boys' rooms. There are guys' rooms. There is a bed available, so it's not the very last that was taken. So if you're still out there and you're a dude, come and we need more dudes, all right? Come and join us in the ghosty getaway. He talks about Sarah Smith, though. This is the one who just booked the ghosty getaway, and it's so funny. Brad says something that I absolutely love, and I hope it gets on a t-shirt. Nice try, AI. That's just so great. I love it. And Shelby can totally relate to the name Smith.
Yeah.
Sounding fake.
That is, yeah, that's my maiden name, Smith. And I always used to say that. I'm like, I just can't wait to shed this name, because every time someone asks you your name and you're like, it's Shelby Smith, it just sounds like you're being, I don't know, you're trying to be sneaky. You're trying to get away with something. It sounds like a fake name. Yeah, always.
Yeah, and then they start talking about these terms that are like old man terms, and Brad's buddy is making fun of him for using terms like cut bait, and then Jake starts like searching for some other terms like this and things, some that he hadn't ever heard of, like what was the one I wrote down? He had never heard of throwing blank against the wall.
Yeah. So it doesn't make any sense to me, though, because it was throwing spaghetti against the wall, but right. I didn't think that was a phrase. That's a thing that people actually do. Like your grandma always used to do that.
Yeah, I used to annoy my mom so much. She'd be like at our house cooking, and she'd like make a huge mess and then like leave it or something.
Yeah. I was totally thinking of when he was saying throw blank against the wall. I'm like throwing S against the wall, because
throwing bleep against the wall.
Yeah, because it's nice. Like you just throw stuff and then see what sticks, and that's phrase. Like I had to check on that, but right, yeah.
Like don't let the spaghetti hit the fan. That's a common right. And then I loved how Brad, he was like so confident in the rearranging blank on the Titanic, and he's like, lazy boy chair. Like, I love Brad's sense of humor so much. I think that's just something that's kept, like, I mean, both of their senses of humor, of course, but like sometimes Brad just like sprinkles it in so chill. It's like so smooth, so understated.
Yeah.
Love you, man. Also, this is a great time to mention Brad has a kids podcast that he's like workshopping or something right now on the Patreon. By the way, if you're not on the Patreon, you can go there for $5 a month, $10 a month, $15 a month. Get to the tier where you get the episodes a day early. That's what we're on. It's so cool. It's so cool at midnight getting that alert on your phone. So it's like Saturday into going into Sunday at midnight, and boom, there's a Ghost Runners episode. So it's like doing some late night dishes, Ghost Runners. Sunday morning while you're getting ready for church, after church, that post-church nap is coming on. Put a little, just kind of doze off to some Ghost Runners. Maybe you'll have a dream about Time and the horses. You never know. Anyway, on the Patreon, Brad posted a lot of these. They're very short. I think they're like 10 minutes or less each. Have you listened to any of them yet?
Yeah, we listen in the car with kids.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I've listened to a couple with Jubilee, and it's really fun. And he's got the right tone. It's very like Steve from Blue's Clues kind of vibe, like just how he's talking slowly and he'll ask a question and he'll give the pause, and then he also gives like an encouraging faith-based message, like something about like be strong and courageous, or like I don't know, it's just really, really cool. So I don't know where I got that from, but just Brad, it was Brad's humor, because even in the podcast for kids, it's just so funny. Like, he even does these characters where he's talking back and forth, and I texted him one time, and I was like, dude, Jubilee just lost it at this moment, and then 2 minutes later, I lost it at this other moment. It's just these two completely different jokes, but his timing, his delivery, all that good stuff. All right, so then they go to an unsifted ad. Don't forget to get sift-faced with unsifted. And then they talk about Space Jam.
Oh, yeah.
So much goodness in Space Jam.
We love Space Jam.
Bill Murray. Dun, 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 dun. And yeah, there's so much you could say about Space Jam. It was just so great to hear that his kids loved it.
Yeah.
Because do you remember when we introduced our kids to Space Jam? It's been
probably way too early.
Yeah, way too early.
We introduced a lot of stuff to our kids.
That's true.
A little bit too early, maybe. We get too excited. It's like we jump the gun.
Yeah, we want to share the nostalgia.
Yeah.
We want to share the... Yeah, like I had the kids watching Star Wars like from before they could talk.
Justice was... I couldn't believe that he liked Star Wars. Like, watched A New Hope as little as he did and loved it.
So true. We have a little video of Justice as like learning how to talk. That's how young he was. And I'm like teaching him how to say R2-D2.
R2-D2.
Yeah, and like Han Solo. It's so cute. So yeah, Space Jam rocks. The guys are going to Paola, Kansas with 20 dudes for a weekend of sports competitions. I'm sure that's going to be a blast. Gunner, their buddy Gunner, is the cheap friend. I think we all have this in our life. Either we have a cheap friend or we are the cheap friend. And it's so funny. That's me and my buddy Tyler, Shelby's cousin, one of my best friends. And it's like, we were just talking. We're doing an Airbnb together, our two families this weekend. He just called me earlier tonight, and he was like, "Yeah, so about food." And I'm just thinking, "Yeah, well, like we'll order Chinese one night, we'll order pizza another night. We're gonna be at the wedding one night, so I don't have to worry about that." And he's thinking of like groceries, like going out and getting some groceries.
Well,
like
we're gonna have to get some groceries.
Oh no, we totally will.
Yeah.
I was just thinking like, I thought like in the moment we're gonna be like. We're not going to have time to be like grocery shopping
like what we
and
said last week.
Cooking.
Yeah.
I know. It's hilarious. It's just the two different. It's like the frugal, responsible.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, oh no, we're on vacation, dude. Let's just live it up.
Let's just go crazy.
And then we ended up deciding we're probably going to do a little bit of both. Like he's going to get some steaks to cook and stuff like that. And like, for the kids, we're probably going to, Uber Eats some Chinese food or something like that. I don't know. Like we'll have some fun with it. So Gunner is talking about they need wiffle balls, and he's like, "Oh, I actually have like some old." No, I'm sorry. They need wiffle balls, and he's like, "Oh, I have some old pickle balls." Pickle balls? that doesn't sound right. Pickle balls. Yeah, that's the term. And then they talk about groceries, and he's like, "Man, I'm not going to be there." Jake's like, "I'm not going to be there during the Costco trip." And then, by the way, they mentioned this too, how in his mind as a kid that like Sam's Club was like a scheme. It was like did you hear this? Do you remember this? It was like a pyramid scheme type thing. And it's like you have to like buy into the club. Or it's like you need to be driving by and there's like cheap gas, but it's like, we can't get that because we don't have Sam's Club. And he's like, who invites you to the club? Is it Sam? Like that's funny because growing up, I never even had that chance because like my dad was a youth pastor, so we had to go to Sam's Club like almost weekly for him to get things for the youth group, like giant things of cheese balls and just like snacks and things. I don't know, other things too. But we went to Sam's Club all the time. Did you ever go to Sam's Club?
I had no idea what it was. I did not understand until I went with our pastor's wife and her granddaughter, who was my best friend, and we went shopping for our senior trip, like for the school.
Wow.
So that was my first time, like even understanding, like, oh, this is what it is. Like I didn't even get it. Because we never did bulk shopping.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, they also mentioned Vietnamese pickleball tournament and how somehow $300 was going to be assigned for eggs, and they're like, "What in the world?" And I'm like, "What in the world?"
I know. I'm very curious about that. I can't wait to know. But I was thinking of it like how they said like a granola bar, like they're for like protein or something like that.
Oh yeah, maybe they're hard-boiled eggs or something.
They mentioned that, and that was what I had in my mind.
I've seen that at airports. It's like a little plastic package of like just a hard-boiled egg. You haven't seen that before?
Interesting.
And there's like a little liquid in the package too. It looks kind of gross, but it's just like a hard-boiled egg. Okay. So then they talk about Shawnee, the town of Shawnee, and I just wanted to chime in and say when Justice and I visited Shawnee, so back, I mentioned this I think in the last pod where he and I took a trip to go see the eclipse, and we took a detour. We went to Kansas City. We went to McLean's in Shawnee, and it was just such a quaint little town. It's just so cute. Like, it was just a nice little place. And then not too far, there's like a lot of like up and coming areas that had a lot of cool things to do. And then Brad and Rachel had both given us like different things, like to hit up Andy's for some frozen custard. And we went to this place called Shields, which was like this. It's so big that they fit a Ferris wheel inside of the store. It's like, it was wild. And then we also went to Chicken and Pickle. That's right.
Yeah,
Chicken and Pickle was awesome. And it was so cool. Like, we had this whole trip in mind just to take a detour to the area where the guys were at, so we could kind of just get a feel for like what it was like to be a ghost hunter, to be like one of these, to go to the places where they talk about in the stories. So anyways, that was a blast. And Shawnee, definitely not a lesser than town. Shawnee is a 9 out of 10. I'll give it a 9 out of 10 town. So then, speaking of Shawnee, they talk about their neighborhood and kids running randomly and making out on cars when they should be at school. I hadn't thought about that. I was like, okay, so either they're skipping school, they could be on spring break, it is that time of year, or they're homeschooled. So, oh my gosh, when Jake talks about going to buy a TV, this is something that I am 100% on board with him about. Like, you're there, you're in the store, you're looking. I mean, I am such a researcher when it comes to buying electronics. Like, I want to know the good and the bad and the ugly. I want to know the pros and the cons. I want to watch, 10 hours of YouTube videos where people compare and contrast. Shelby is not that at all. I am talking about, like, I want to know the true black of the TV and all that stuff. So and then don't even get me started on sound bars. Then you got to go to the sound bars after that. But he's got a great point. Like, at the end of the day, comparison is the thief of joy.
Except that, like, I don't know anybody who notices like you do. Like, I'll be watching a movie and he just comes in and he's like, oh, you have this on the wrong. Let me adjust this. Okay, wait. Do you notice the difference? I'm literally sitting there like, I don't even notice the difference of what you just did. I don't know.
It's like, dim. It's like you walk in, like, it's on theater mode, and it's like dim, and you have to like put it back to like.
I know. I'm like embarrassed that I don't even notice. I'm not really that embarrassed, but also you'll come in and be like, this one maybe I should notice. You're like, do you not realize that the sound bars?
Yes, the sound's so tinny without the sound bar.
I didn't notice.
You come in, there's like that.
It's like I'm used to it. Like, in 3 seconds, it might sound weird to me at first, and then like in 3 seconds I forget, and I'm used to it. And it's like
it's the of the subwoofer that it's like it just adds that nice warm layer of sound.
Well, I also have to watch TV most of the time, like next to a sleeping baby, so I have it like all the way down with the captions on. So it's like I may as well just be a deaf person. It's
like living in a cave. And to the light, you're like, not too much light. So like for you, it's like you always have the sound really low. So it's you've attuned to quieter
and
vibes.
I just am not observant at all. So I don't know.
So yeah, man, I can totally relate to that. But there's one beef, Jacob. You said that your TCL TV interface is the one that you like the most.
Yeah.
But TCL has 3 different user interfaces available to it. So did you get the Roku TCL, the Fire TV TCL, or the Google TCL? Because those are 3 different interfaces. Shelby doesn't even know what I'm talking about right now. But sorry, just wanted to call that out real quick. I'm interested. Just what is it, bro? So then we get to niche versus small portion of a huge industry. And when they start talking about that, it's like, oh yeah, you could find your niche and be successful there, or you could just get a small share of a $10 billion market share, and you can just get 5% of that, and you're rolling in it. Similar aspect to this podcast. This is our niche. Like we can never grow beyond however many subs the Ghost Runners podcast has. Like, we can never grow beyond this audience, really. Yeah. But I think what we can do is maybe people stumble, kind of like Kadra commented in last week's video. She's like, I don't watch Ghost Runners, but I like these, and these are my friends, so I'm going to listen. And then maybe that gets her to listen to Ghost Runners. So maybe we can grow the Ghost Runners community by people who stumble upon this and just happen to be willing to sit through an hour of this and enjoy it. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
but
dreaming big.
We don't really like tell our friends and family about this.
We haven't told anyone.
Yeah, because this is for the Ghost Runner. This is for the ghosties. Like, they're not going to understand. They're going to think, like, what are they even doing? Like, so here we are with you, for you. This is a podcast by ghosties, for ghosties. There's a third thing in there. Of the ghosties, by the ghosties, for the ghosties.
There you go. That's good.
This is just a place where we can just enjoy being Ghost Runners podcast fans.
Yeah.
When they talked about gray hairs, holy smokes! It's so funny that Brad's a little bit older than me, and just the fact that he's just now getting the, like, maybe some gray hairs, dude. I've been getting gray hairs for so many years now. There's so many grays. It's ridiculous. And the longer my hair gets, like, if I'm in need of a haircut, I can see the grays just, like, poking out everywhere. After a haircut, it looks a lot better. But you can probably see them now shining in the light of the studio. You can probably see some of the shimmery sparkles of the grays. Shelby likes it. Shelby says that
you'll be a silver fox.
Silver fox.
Or were you talking about how I say that gray is better than bald?
Gray is better than bald, my man.
It depends. Some dudes look really cool with balding. I don't want to hate on people who are bald.
That should be our first Ghosties on Second t-shirt. Gray is better than bald. Shelby Sullivan. So speaking of gray and going bald, old people things. When they brought up Texas Walker Texas Ranger.
Sleepy.
My bad. It is 1:29 in the morning.
It took me a second.
So Walker Texas Ranger, the great Chuck Norris.
The greatest.
Give me a Chuck Norris joke.
His tears can cure cancer. Too bad he doesn't cry.
Oh, snap. Superman wears Chuck Norris pajamas to bed. When Chuck Norris does a push-up, he doesn't push himself up. He pushes the earth down. The world, yeah.
Chuck Norris can lead a horse to water and make it drink.
That's right. Oh my goodness.
I made up a Chuck Norris joke, but I don't want to share it because I'm embarrassed.
You gotta share it. You can't tease the people.
I was in high school.
This is an exclusive Ghosties on Second moment.
I forgot about this until just now.
Go ahead. I can't even remember this.
I don't know if I ever said it to you. I just had this, like, memory. Chuck Norris eats hot dogs with buns of steel.
Thank you, baby. That was fantastic. So Walker Texas Ranger. So
yeah, I used to. I really am feeling like the old soul situation here too.
Gotcha.
I had like a tough season of my life where I did not have a lot of friends, and I just went over to my great grandma's, my grandparents' house. My great grandma lived there. Like every day after school for a while, and we just chilled. We did puzzles, we played cards, and we watched Walker Texas Ranger. And those are some of my favorite things right there.
Man, it was actually the only time that I've ever seen that show was at my grandma's house too. The same one who threw spaghetti against the wall. I was in her trailer. She was like we live in Florida, so Clearwater, there's a lot of like trailer parks. Is it trailer parks or mobile home communities is maybe the better.
Yeah.
Mobile home communities,
mobile home
55
communities, like
plus.
A little bit nicer than a trailer park, maybe.
Yeah, you're right. But technically, maybe the same thing, kind of.
I think it's a little different. I lived in one.
You're right. Shelby grew up in a trailer park, so she knows. So anyway, yeah, that's where I used to watch it. So talking about Walker Texas Ranger, they're talking about TV and how Brad says that Bo loves getting sick because he gets to watch TV a bunch.
Yeah.
I feel like our kids.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, the same.
Yeah.
The same.
Makes me think of Jubilee when she told some friends, I think I'm due for another injury because I need some attention.
Oh, God. Oh, Lord, help us. Goodness. So what did you think about when they talked about bless you? Some of those bless you boundaries.
Yeah. I am not one for, I'll say bless you to people, but I really don't care if people say bless you to me at all. And like the worst is like, okay, when you sneeze in the middle of like somewhere where you're supposed to be quiet and like, and then it's like you already feel uncomfortable, like in the middle of church or something, like the preaching is happening and like you sneeze and like you're just like, oh gosh. And then at like 5 people turn around at different times, like, bless you. You're like, stop looking at me, please.
You're like,
just
read the room.
Turn around. It's okay. I don't need to be blessed. It's fine. I'm already blessed. I'm pre-blessed.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that is so true. And I work in an office where there's a lot of people who don't believe in God, but they'll still say bless you. And I'm like, that's short for God. Like, I don't say that, but you just wonder why. Like, what are they? I don't know. And you know what? Hey, it's sweet gesture. Maybe they're doing it to be kind.
It's just like, if you don't really even believe in blessing, you're just like acknowledging someone sneezed. Like, you sneezed.
I heard you.
Like, I heard you sneeze.
Yeah.
But why do we really need to be blessed? Like, I don't think it was like a Christian origin of sneezing, like of the blessing because someone sneezed. So
hold on, let me Google that. Okay, ChatGPT. The phrase "God bless you" after a sneeze has several potential origins, including superstition and a response to religious beliefs during the bubonic plague. One theory suggests it originated in Rome during the plague, where Pope Gregory Gregory the Great, may have suggested saying "God bless you" to protect against the disease, which often manifested as sneezing. Another theory based on ancient beliefs suggests that a sneeze might expel the soul, and the blessing was to prevent the soul from being lost or invaded by evil spirits.
Okay, so that's the thing that I had heard, so it was like a more superstitious thing. But like the Pope thing, that like during the bubonic plague, that I guess that's like a Christian, like we're blessing someone so that they're not sick. Okay.
Yeah.
So I stand corrected.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
All right.
It is what
bless
it is.
you that you will not be sick, that it was just a, dust flutter that made you sneeze. I don't know.
Exactly. All right. Brad reads a repeat review. And I don't believe that it was, I don't remember this. I don't recall this.
Yeah. It was the 3rd time they read this review. It was a joke because it's the 3rd time.
And I get it. Brad, you're on a next level with your jokes, but I have to go back and re-listen because I don't remember this happening last week. So this is the 3rd time that they've read this same review.
Not paying attention.
And but if so, freaking hats off to you guys. Amazing.
All right, maybe I'm totally wrong, and then
super
I'll be
funny. And then Emily Burke meets up with a ghosty stranger. So fun. She posts a selfie of the two of them together with the kids at the park on Facebook, and it's just an awesome story of people finding each other and becoming friends and hanging out in person.
Weren't you supposed to do that one time? Like you met somebody and you guys...
Yes, on Facebook, through the Facebook group, a guy reached out to me. I can't remember your name. I'm so sorry.
If you're watching this.
If you're watching this, and it was supposed to be like we meet up at Chick-fil-A for lunch. It never worked out. I had to cancel because we got sick. He had to cancel for some reason. We just kind of fell out of touch, and I've always regretted that. I've even gone back to search in my DMs to find it, and I can't find it. I'm probably just looking right past it or something.
Yeah.
But it was such a fun idea for ghosties to just meet in the wild, It's been amazing seeing the engagement that we've already had with some of you guys. Like just the comments on the video are so kind, and just the interactions and some of the DMs that I've gotten. Like, wow, it's so encouraging. And this is just something that I've wanted to do for a long time. And the fact that we're doing it is just really fun. And I just found out Brad listened to last week's episode, which is so cool. Yeah. And he gave me a little bit of constructive feedback. I was so glad I asked for it. I was like, dude, lay it on me. And he's so cool. He and Jake are just really fun.
Yeah. It's been more than I expected. I thought like, hey, maybe like 3 people will listen to this.
Yeah, honestly, I was thinking like if there's just 10 people, I was thinking like maybe there's 10 people out there who are looking for what I was looking for. Just more ghosty content. just another way to celebrate and just enjoy the conversations and the community and all that stuff. And we got a shout out. That was so awesome. Thanks, Brad. Like, that was really cool that you mentioned our new pod on the pod. It was like, that was podception. Who said that in the Facebook group the other day? That was really funny.
That's fine. I'm not on Facebook, so I don't know.
It's true. I'm like, I have to relay everything. I have to send screenshots to Shelby throughout the day.
He does. It's nice. I like it.
It is so kind when you guys say nice things, like commenting on the YouTube or on the Facebook or whatever. It's so cool. We really appreciate that. So I think this brings us to our first official segment, quotes. So my 2 favorite quotes from Brad this week, and I'll let you read the 2 favorites from Jake.
Okay.
Nice try, AI. That was so funny when you talking about Sarah Smith and nice try, AI.
Yeah.
I do. I want that to be on a t-shirt.
It reminds me of our kids saying, nice try, bad guy. What does that come from?
Oh.
Like some show that they watch.
Dang. The other one from Brad, when they're talking about going off to their like boys weekend up in Paola, he says, he's talking about like Jake wants him to be on his team. He's like, yeah, dude, you hit some dingers. And Brad's like, yeah, I hit dingers in my day. Like, I just love that line. I hit dingers in my day. All right, so what were some of the ones from Jake that you liked?
When Jake said, where any 2 or more are gathered, God's being there. That's funny. They kept dropping the be in there.
Being there.
Playing back from, I guess, Brad saying that from when he was like super tired or something.
Yeah.
Just kind of like where we are right now. We're like, hey, we're being there. We're being here.
If I haven't said it already, if I've cut it out of other segments of this, it is currently 1:52 a.m. going into Thursday morning.
We're not being very wise right now.
Well, we have to wait till all the kids and the babies asleep and to get everything ready. And so we're in this stage of the pod.
Yeah. Maybe one day we'll have a babysitter.
So what's the next thing for Jake?
Oh, he said, yeah, I don't want to exaggerate, but it sounded like she was 175 years old. It's like not an exaggeration at all.
Not at all.
Yeah, Brad's like, no, that's about right.
It's so good. All right, so for our next segment, we're actually going to be throwing it over to our son, Justice. His nickname is Dusty, so we have Dusty's Top 5. Take it away, Dusty.
Oh. Whoa. It actually worked. Okay, guys. What's up? My name is Justice, not Dusty. The reason why this segment is called Dusty's Top 5 instead of Justice's Top 5 is because my nickname is Dusty. I won't go into it, long story. So, on this segment, we are going to be talking about my top 5 favorite things of the week. And you might be wondering, Justice, why aren't you wearing your Ghosties merch? Why are you wearing Trey Kennedy Do Less God Bless merch? And that's because I don't have any Ghosties merch. I have one shirt that's way too small for me that it's not even from the Ghosties store. So please spam the comments, #GetJustice merch. Alright, well, let's get into it. Number 5. I don't even know if it counts as a moment, but it was just really funny and amazing. The thumbnail for Old As Dirt. I don't know why, it was just really amazing, and I thought it should deserve a top 5 spot. Number 4. The jingle from Old As Dirt. It was really good jingle. Jake was right, it will be one of the most favorites. Anyways, the jingle was amazing, a really catchy tune. That was the jingle. For this third one, I didn't have a third one. I know. I'm so sorry. But, yeah, I don't have a third one. So that's why I'm going to bring in my little sister, Jubilee. What's up? This is Jubilee. Yeah. Hi. What was your favorite moment of the podcast? One of the podcasts that I'm going to mark as my third favorite. What was it?
The one with Hattie instead of Timon. I liked it when she was talking about the homeschool classical conversations and like singing songs and stuff, because we also do homeschool and classical conversations. My parents told you that in the first episode.
Yep. And if I should make it sure, you have the same birthday as Hattie, right?
Uh-huh. I have the same birthday, March 21st. Oh, and Brad, if you're watching, tell Hattie.
Okay, that's enough. Number 2. It was in the first minute. I'll give you that. What do you guys think it is? Okay. Here's what it was. Hey, Timon, we all good? Yeah. What an amazing thing. I mean, Brad's impression of Timon. Timon, the funniest, maybe even the best host. I said maybe. Okay? I said maybe. Okay, well, it was really funny. Brad, great job. Number 1, the big shot. The best moment out of both 2 pods in the episode, in the week. My number 1 favorite was Hattie quizzing Jake on classical conversations things. It was super amazing, super funny. Just hearing that we do all the same stuff and just cracking up, laughing at Jake's answers, even though they're wrong most of the time. And, well, that's it for me. I know. But don't worry, I'll be back on next week. Yeah, oh, calm down. Oh, stop it. Thank you. Well, anyways, that has been Dusty's Top 5.
Man, okay, so we told Justice that we wanted him to do something for the pod, and he got so excited. And I think it was just extra fitting that this was Hattie's week on the pod, so we had our kids do something as well. Justice and Jubilee are very silly together, and I think you got a taste of that. I am going to be handing over the laptop.
I'm nervous.
To Shelby for episode 427, the Hattie episode. I'll guard
it with my life. Just kidding.
All right, walk us through it, babe.
Okay. Hattie on the pod was super cute. We loved it. The kids loved it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great.
All the CC talk.
Yes. That was so fun.
Yeah.
They loved that they could relate. Just like, you always talk about how it's just fun to be able to relate to stuff. So the kids really loved it. They're like, hey, we do that. We know that. That was really fun.
So Brad said something last week, that whole discussion about where do you see yourself in 5 years? And he said the phrase, I don't want to cheat time. But, and he was talking about Hattie. And I thought that he said, I don't want to cheat Timon. And then he talked about Hattie and he kind of trailed off. And I thought that he was saying like, oh, I don't want to cheat Timon out of a job, but 5 years from now, I see Hattie replacing him on the pod. Like I literally had that thought last week. So funny that she replaces him on the pod this week. And she did such a great job.
She did do a great job.
I mean, we're not saying anything new. Of course, like it's been said, like the camera switching was well done and hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
The moments when she would just like put the camera back on herself, it was so cute. And
Yes.
There was one moment, that I put it down, the timestamp. There was some, at the 26-minute mark of episode 427, Hattie just like puts the camera on herself and she's just like smiling real big, like while the guys are talking. It's so funny. What else did I put down here? So yeah, so now she's doing the job.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and it was just really, as a dad, maybe just as a parent in general, just completely related to the whole vibe of Brad. And somebody even mentioned this in the Facebook group earlier today or maybe yesterday. Brad just kind of like being calm, like as Hattie is just kind of like being free and having fun. Brad seemed to kind of like become more like reserved and like just trying to steer the ship.
It's like the parent fatigue is what it made me think of a little bit of like there's we're like so proud of our kids. We love them so much, you know, and then you have like, hey, show everybody all these wonderful things that you know. Show everybody how cute you are, how wonderful you are. And then they start to like, oh, I'll show them. And it's like, yes, you will. And I will be like, okay, what's going to happen next? I actually really enjoyed too how like you felt the dadness of Brad, but then like Jake just seemed like pure enjoyment. It was like,
yeah.
And I also experienced this as like with kids that are like not my kids, that it's like, oh, I don't have to worry about what you do at all. Not saying that Brad was worried about it. He did great and it was all great. I just like, there's an extra enjoyment that I get to have when other people's kids are being loose cannons.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, just like,
especially
just go for it.
as we have our own kids, and it's like we totally know what that other parent is potentially thinking.
Yeah.
And so it's like all the more reason, just like, I want you to know that I'm here for it. Like whatever they want to say, however long they want to take, like they have my attention. Let's just enjoy the moment. This has been happening with Isley, our 4-year-old. Our friend Julie at church. Isley goes up to her and somehow gets her involved in playing hide and go seek with her. Just the two of them. And so Julie, a grown woman, is going off to hide somewhere and have this 4-year-old go find her because she's just trying to play and just have fun. And it's so sweet of her to do this. And she ends up doing it. And then Isley's coming around to different adults at the church asking, where's the lady with the red hair? And like it's so funny. And then that was great. But then this past week, Isley, of course, goes straight up to her after church again, trying to get her to do it again. And just that feeling of just like, oh, don't be too much. Like, as a dad, it's like, oh man. But and it's so funny because I think she ended up having to leave. And so Isley was like still looking for her. She's like, I know she's hiding. And I'm like, no, baby, she had to go home.
She is hiding. She has a really good hiding spot. You are really, never going to find her.
Very far.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, and I love it so much when Brad has those moments of just like being a proud dad. Like when he talks about Bo and he's like, yeah, he's got a cannon. Like that's, such a proud fatherly moment. And Jake, you do so well with the kids, man. It's so awesome. Just like, there's so many people out here watching the Ghost Runners podcast that are exactly in your situation. They're just dudes whose friends have kids, and sometimes you don't know how to act around your friends' kids. My buddy Corey, who's going to be on the pod next week, he and his wife Kadra, you know, they were like our close friends that stayed with us all throughout our 20s when we had kids and they didn't have kids. And they were just so cool to our kids. Like they were just kind and patient and understanding of when the kid was having a meltdown or like just, you know, trying to get too much attention or whatever. Every time that you're with one of Brad's kids on camera over the years, you're just being a good example. And that's awesome, dude. Keep on.
Not a lot of our friendships were lasting through that season of our lives.
Yeah, not a lot. I don't think
we were like the first ones with kids in our tier, I think. Yeah.
That's just awesome.
Another great moment was Jake's sister coming on. That was pretty cool. That was hilarious too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she was on like a year or so ago. And I don't remember anything about that episode, but I remember I loved that episode. Because it's just, I love, like, when you're a kid and you go on a field trip, like, that's the best day. Or when you have, like, a super rainy day at school and, like, you have to cancel PE and, like, do something different. I love when things get switched up. I just love a good switch up. So whenever you have a surprise guest, heck, 2 surprise guests in one episode. We got Hattie and Caitlin. So fun. So, like, already off the bat, the first half of the episode with Hattie, it's just so fun. And then all of a sudden, Caitlin pops in, and it's just so fun. It's so cool seeing, especially because for most of us, Jake and Brad are like our friends. They're our bros. Like they're just the guys. And so when you meet like one of your friends' siblings, or like they happen to come around, you just get like this different dynamic from your friend. So like we get a little bit of a different dynamic from Jake, and then you just notice like the similarities, like the facial features that they share in common a little bit.
And like they apparently share small throats or something.
No, it was something like their abs or something, or their stomachs.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, I'm gonna say it wrong, and I've even actually had a bit diastasis recti, something that's like when you're something separates when you're pregnant or postpartum and it doesn't come back together or something like that. But I just butchered that. But yeah.
she essentially comes on the pod to show us a technique called the mush method.
Swallowing pills.
For swallowing pills.
That's just funny. It was funny to me that that's like a genetic similarity. Apparently, you guys both inherited that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's funny. I had a big problem with swallowing pills until my 20s. And
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I can't remember when or how. I don't remember it, but ni hao. I can't remember ni hao. But yeah, I can't remember when or where or how, but at some point I had to figure out how to swallow pills. There's quite a few things, like when some vegetables and stuff, one day I just realized like I need to be eating vegetables, and I just like started forcing myself to eat vegetables and eventually got used to them, and now I enjoy them and things like that. So I think it was the same thing. I think I just
realized you had to start swallowing pills.
Or something like that. Yeah, it's a tough pill to swallow, but hey, you know.
It was cute too. All the knock jokes that they were doing. That was fun. It's cute.
One of my all-time favorite knock jokes. I think you taught it to me.
Probably.
I know a really good knock joke.
I'm so good at knock jokes.
I know a really good knock joke, but you have to start it.
Oh. Knock.
Who's there? I love that one. I love that one so much.
But we just had to demonstrate it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, no, they talked about knock jokes, and then they also talked about Timon knocking the ball out of the park. I guess Timon is kicking butt on this Trey Kennedy movie that they're filming.
Yeah.
And I know we referenced it earlier for a second, but Timon, we are so excited to see this Trey Kennedy movie, man. And the fact that you have so much involvement in it, and Jake talking about how essential you are to this whole thing, and like how you're giving your opinion and you're not holding back, and you're just, I can see it because the kids and I the other night were watching Timon's old family videos on YouTube.
Oh.
Like Timon's family had like a channel that he was the director, and he was doing all these short films.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
It's fantastic. Yeah. It's so well done. Really funny. Your mom's involved in so much of it. Like that's so cool too. The video where you guys were like cleaning up super fast, trying to get the house ready for your mom to get home. She comes home and it's like, oh, this is amazing. And then she opens up the cupboard and like all the dishes, like just, it's hilarious. Yeah, man. So
it's great,
dude. You're awesome. And hey, this kind of brings us to our final segment, Facebook Fun. A couple of things from the Facebook group this week. Speaking of Timon and Timon's hair, Jake Allen. Nice try, AI. No, but well done with your AI, because you made a picture of all of the guys with the middle part, the 90s middle part, and it is so great. If you haven't seen it yet, go to the Facebook group, find Jake Allen's post. It is a sight to be seen. Another really fun thing on the Facebook group, Maddie Dieterle again getting to mention two things. Your gif of Brad and Hattie both doing the yeah dog. I got the in my veins, dog. Yeah, dog.
That. It was so funny.
That's one of my favorite characters that Brad has, by the way, too. And the other thing is that Maddie had a post on Facebook this past week that went crazy. It had like 60 comments on it. And so it was hard to pick one from among the 60. The post was about rebellious homeschool stories. You could also just call it rebellious sheltered kid stories. One of them is, I had this old iPod, and in order to listen to the music I wanted, I would record the songs by playing them on YouTube. My mom found out and made me delete them, saying it wasn't right to steal the songs like that. Meanwhile, she would get books from the library and copy the pages with our printer when she had to give the books back. I guess I learned from the best. That was fantastic. And then that was by Levi Prohl. And Megan Babchuk said, not homeschooled, but also an Adventures in Odyssey story. I took one of my CD albums to my cousins when we were around 10 or 12. We were falling asleep listening to the American Revolution episode, and it scared us so much that we took it out of the player and scratched it up in retaliation. Still not sure to this day. Kids are weird. That's so funny.
That's funny.
And maybe one more. Elena Spearing says, homeschooled, sheltered pastor's kid here. I used to turn on our giant radio next to our bed, lay down right beside the speaker, and turn the dial between the country station and the pop station. I had the volume so low that I had to have my ear literally against the speaker. If I heard someone walking down the hallway to our bedroom, I'd quickly switch it to Adventures in Odyssey CD to pretend to be asleep. I also would secretly listen to the Piano Guys on my tiny MP3 player, but only outside, because if I had it inside, my mom would ask what I was listening to, and I just couldn't lie. My most rebellious moment, emailing a boy from church that I wasn't supposed to be talking to. Got in trouble, and then literally walked to his house so I could see him. He wasn't even home because it was during the day, so he was in public school. I was so dumb. I'm glad I kept a diary at the time so my now husband can laugh at all these stories.
Oh my gosh. I think I have ripped up all of my stupid diaries full of dumb things that I did.
Oh gosh. Yeah, we got plenty of those embarrassing stories to share as well. But
we're not gonna.
Not gonna. And I guess one light one is I finally got a TV in my room, like sometime around like 8th grade maybe. And I got it from like a yard sale. It was a TV, like one of those big old, not big old, like a box, like just a big box of a TV with the rabbit ear antennas. And I got a very, very fuzzy station. If I was clicking the wheel, I could get to channel 13, and in the evenings, MASH would come on. It was my late night, and the same thing, like I turned the volume down as low as I could. I think it was on like the number 1, and I just watched MASH. Secretly watched MASH. That wasn't. I got the hiccups.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I'm not sure anyway. Sorry. Just kidding.
You're good. Oh my gosh! And when they mentioned manly encouragement, that was phenomenal. That was so fun. And really sweet of the guys to do as well. You have any manly encouragement for that guy? Jason, his name was?
Manly encouragement.
Wait, you're not a man. What am I asking you for? Listen, Jason. You are a man. All right?
Good stuff. That's good stuff. That is solid.
Let's try that again.
In case there was any question. Oh, it was good. I like it. Good.
All right, and to wrap up our Facebook fun, Christopher Showalter again getting the mention because looks like AI isn't so bad after all, Brad. And he shows this picture. In fact, you know what? I can go ahead and just show it to the pod if you're listening. But this is amazing. And this actually reminds me, we had Jake and Brad custom Funko Pops made, and we sent them to the guys, and they opened them up. They enjoyed them, but it was so fun putting together some custom Funko Pops, like designing, like picking out Brad's hat and Jake's hairstyle, and a pickleball paddle. And Jake had a pickleball paddle. Brad had a guitar. They both had headphones. Like their outfits, they had Chiefs hoodie and a Chiefs t-shirt. Like designing those in real life was so fun. So seeing this like AI model of these action figures, it's so perfect. It's so fun. And the horse on Diamond's shirt. Holy smokes. Gosh, you guys are awesome on the Facebook group. That does it for our Facebook fun segment. And I think that does it for our second episode of Ghosties on Second. Thanks so much for sticking with us through it. And don't forget, Ghosties, support the boys by buying things everybody enjoys.
Support the guys with a couple extra fun buys.
Go ahead and cuddle up with Cozy Earth. Hey, while you're at it, go ahead and get yourself a Bo Bob from Main Street Roasters. A big old bag of beans, baby. Go ahead and get you one for you and get you one for your mama, too. Why don't you go ahead and get sift-faced with Unsifted?
Can we get sift faced?
Oh yeah, let's get sift faced.
Yeah.
And while we're at it, go ahead and don't forget to be a good boy and get yourself some good Ranchers American meat delivered. Use code GRKC, baby. Well, that is it from us. It is 2 a.m. and we are ready for bed.
Yes.
Thanks so much for joining us. And that has been Ghosties on Second. Much love.